Hello beauties and gents, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I am going to be talking about my recent miscarriage that I did go through, and I was 10 weeks pregnant and it was very unexpected. So if you're not interested in, you know, a lot of like TMI kind of descriptions, just go ahead and X out of the video, because I will be getting raw and real as to what happened, and it's very TMI. So if you're not into stuff like that, or if it grosses you out, just go ahead and X out right now, because I will be real and true about what happened to me. I decided to open up. I was trying to figure it out. I said, you know what, am I going to be telling the whole world, you know, that I had a miscarriage? Should I not? Should I? But I've always been a very open person about pretty much my whole life. You know, I have a YouTube channel and I do vlogs, you know, not daily, but pretty much people see what I do during the week or on the weekends, pretty much on the weekends, and since I work full time. But yeah, I just wanted to get into this video because it has helped me a lot from seeing other women. You see other women that go through the same thing as you, and it just helps you out a lot. So I don't know how I'm gonna react later on in this video. So if I cry a little bit, it's just because of what I went through, and it's still new and fresh. Sometimes people don't even talk about miscarriages, which is very, like, you know, I guess miscarriages aren't really honored like they should be. But yeah, you guys, I went through a miscarriage, and I didn't honestly even I wasn't even expecting to get pregnant. I didn't even, you know, we didn't even plan it. It just happened, and I was 10 weeks pregnant. So I found out I was 10 weeks pregnant. I was so happy, and I waited a little bit to tell close family members because I didn't want to say anything yet. For some reason, I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything until maybe later on. So up until I was almost 9 or 10 weeks, I started telling just the close family members. I hadn't told social media or anybody yet. I felt like I still needed to wait a little bit longer for some reason. And I was happy, and I was already like, you know, I mean, in the beginning I was kind of like, oh, a little, you know, like, oh, I'm scared, because I just didn't know what to expect as to, you know, how pregnancy symptoms are supposed to come about. Like, what do I expect? Am I going to be throwing up? So I downloaded some app called The Bump, and it just kind of like tells you what to expect each month as you're pregnant, or each week as you're pregnant. So that kind of helped me out. It actually did help me out a whole lot. So found out I was pregnant. I made my first appointment with my gynecologist, and my first appointment was, she did a lot of blood work, and they did a vaginal kind of thing down there where they go inside your vagina and they feel everything. They feel the uterus or something like that. I'm not completely sure exactly what they do, but as soon as she touched me down there and kind of felt everything, and I guess looked in there pretty much, she said everything looked in place, everything looked great. She says, okay, so we're gonna set up for your next appointment for an ultrasound. And I thought I was gonna get the ultrasound that day, but I didn't. But I wasn't worried. I was like happy, and you know, for her to say everything looked great, and you know, the baby's still there and stuff like that. So after my gynecologist appointment, the next day I started discharging like a brown color on my underwear, and I called the office. I was at work, so I called the office, my gynecologist, and I told her, I said, well, I didn't tell her. I talked to like the admin or something, and she told me, you know, you had just come in from your appointment, so, you know, when they touch you down there, it's very sensitive, and the cervix and everything, or the uterus just is very sensitive to touch, and it's normal to just discharge brown. So I figured I was okay, so I felt relieved. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. So I hung up with them. A few hours later, they say, you know what, go ahead and come in just so we can check you out. And they said, as long as you're not bleeding any kind of bright red or heavy blood flow or cramping and stuff, which I kind of started getting a little bit of cramps that day. Just, it was like barely anything, but I felt like just because, you know, you're pregnant, you feel all these different symptoms, so I figured it was normal. And then a next appointment scheduled because of the discharge that I told him I was having the next day. So I was luckily gonna get an appointment right the next day, like right at 9 o'clock. So I was happy about that, just so they can check me out. I felt fine though. I felt like everything was okay, everything was fine. I just had that mentality. And then that night I woke up about 1 in the morning, cramping a little more. So I had a lot of lower back pain, which was concerning because I was like, you know what? I've heard about pregnant women and lower back pain when they're like big, like when they're already showing and stuff. So I said, you know what? That's weird. And then, so I woke up at 1 in the morning with back pain and severe cramping. It started getting worse. And then I went to the restroom and I wiped, and on the toilet paper was like a pinkish reddish color. I said, oh no, 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 no. And then so I couldn't sleep that night, and so I woke up again at 2 in the morning. So it was like every hour I was kind of like, oh, you know, just cramping and just felt like a bad period. And then I went to the restroom again to go pee, and the whole toilet bowl was full of red. I said, no, please, no, God, you know, please don't take my baby away. And I was just crying and just like upset and just a lot of emotions and stuff, you know what I mean? So I was so scared. And I mean, I had my appointment that day, the next morning, but I didn't know if I could take the pain anymore, because after like around 3 or 4 in the morning, I was in severe pain. I was just like, I don't know what labor pains feel like because I have no children at the moment, but I don't know what they feel like. But I heard that it kind of is somewhat like the start of like, it feels like labor pains, like when you're miscarrying. So I don't know how true that is, but I know that I felt a lot of pain and it was unbearable. And I started feeling very like my mouth was real dry, dehydrated. I didn't want to eat anything. I was just scared. And I remember too, what happened? I almost fainted because I started seeing black like on the peripherals. So I started seeing black, and that's when I knew I was about to pass out. So luckily my Uncle Mario came to the rescue, and my mom was there for me, of course, as always. And they both took me to the emergency room. So I ended up there. They did my paperwork, you know, they just to kind of sign me into the hospital. And they did more blood work. They did more vaginal, you know, they went inside of me just to check it out. And the nurse was like, it's just weird. It looks like you're, like, they didn't want to confirm that I was having a miscarriage, but they, she was like, from the looks of it, you're having a miscarriage, but everything looks great in there for some reason. I don't know what she meant by that. She just said everything looked in place. And I remember my gynecologist telling me the same thing on my first appointment with her. She was like, everything looks great and in place, and that, like, they pretty much were telling me that. And I was just confused, like, why are they telling me this stuff? Like, okay, it looks great, but yet I'm having a miscarriage. I just didn't understand. And I was just scared. It had already happened. So I stayed at the hospital for maybe a good, like, I would say 3 or 4 hours. I was there at the hospital in pain. My mom was rubbing my feet. We were literally not even in a bed, relaxed. I was just on a chair, just, you know, them poking me. And they did give me morphine just for the pain. And I feel like the morphine didn't even really help me because I still felt the pain, but I just felt like a relaxed kind of feeling. Like I was just like it just felt like I was on drugs, and obviously morphine is a drug, so at least I think it is. What is it? But yeah, they gave me the morphine for the pain, and so after like 3 or 4 hours, they did like a sonogram also, but I noticed like the nurse or whoever she was didn't show me the screen. Like she wasn't telling me anything. Like she was just very quiet and just kind of like, she just, all you hear is click, 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 because they were just like looking at the images and stuff and looking at my stomach and all that. And she didn't tell me anything. And so as I was getting discharged, this was already 3 or 4 hours later, they told me, you know, you have to confirm your miscarriage with your gynecologist. And I said, are you kidding me? I was like, really? Like, I have never experienced this before, but they can't tell me I just had a miscarriage. It's so weird. So they couldn't confirm it with me. So luckily, like I said, I did have an appointment that next day. I had a bad experience going back over there. The nurse was rude. I ended up throwing up when they were taking my vitals, and she was just like, you need to keep your mask on. But I felt like I had to throw up. So I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am. And I understand COVID is a very serious thing and they have to definitely take precautions and stuff like that. But I was just like about to faint again. Like I told this nurse, I'm so sorry that this is happening to me. I don't know why I was apologizing. I should never have even apologized. She was the rudest nurse ever. Like she acted like she didn't care. She didn't give me no comfort. Like everything's gonna be okay. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Like nothing, like no sympathy or anything. After seeing me almost blacking out and throwing up. I ended up throwing up, by the way, in the trash can. But supposedly it's because of the morphine that I had prior to this appointment, when I went to the ER, they did give me the morphine, and supposedly it makes you throw up after a while, so I heard. And so I figured it was the morphine. And so I ended up waiting. So they put me in a room, laying down, had me, I was literally undressed, like everything was off, and just under those little sheets that you are on that little bed. You would know how this works if you get your pap smears done and stuff. I was there for 2 hours waiting. When my appointment was at 9 o'clock, I ended up waiting till 11 o'clock to see my gynecologist because she was at the hospital and something else. I don't know what else. And so I waited 2 hours in pain, still kind of in pain. The pain wasn't like horrible, like the pain kind of subsided a little bit, but I was still uncomfortable and bleeding, as of course. And so my gynecologist ended up coming in. She looked at me. I was up in the air, like, I mean, my legs were up in the air once again, checking me. And she says, oh yeah, you just had a miscarriage. I don't see any baby in you anymore. She said, you more than likely bled it out or peed it out. Well, pretty much bled it out. So yeah. So I ended up bleeding out my baby, and I was 10 weeks pregnant, and I was devastated, you guys. I was scared, and I was just like, the what ifs and whys. So she told me just to take care of myself. I didn't need, she said, from looking in there and stuff, I didn't need any kind of DNC or anything like that, where they give you the pill to just bleed out the baby, just to kind of help you get everything out. She said pretty much everything was out. What she did was just kind of, I guess, scrape out the rest of the lining, whatever was left over. And she said everything should be good. And she said I'll be bleeding for probably another week or so, less than that maybe. And, you know, the cramping was still kind of there, but not as bad. And she said for me to just heal and make sure I'm gonna be okay. You know, she said everything was done, and my baby was gone. I was so sad, and don't get me wrong, I've cried so many times already, and I honestly think I was gonna cry in this video, but I think I am now. Just kind of like a little teary-eyed kind of thing. I just didn't, honestly, we didn't plan on this pregnancy, but I started getting a little excited. Of course, you know, you're gonna be a first-time mother, and you start planning things, and it's like, why? Like, I remember asking, like, one night, like, why God, what did I do, like, to deserve not being a mom? What did I do? Tell me what I did wrong. You know, I was ready, or at least I thought I was ready. Maybe God thinks I'm not ready, but I know this is so so what everybody says, but everything happens for a reason. I strongly believe that. I'm gonna keep my faith and keep going. So I went through the miscarriage, and I noticed that the bleeding stopped. It stopped. And so I'm no longer bleeding at this time. No more cramping, nothing. Everything is good. And I'm healing as far as I know, because I did go for my last appointment with my gyno, because I am not going back to her. I'm gonna find another gynecologist, to be honest. And since I had a bad experience my previous appointment, and my last appointment with her, which was a few days ago, it was just to check if I was healing, and just to make sure everything was out. So she checked me, she said I was healing, everything was good. And she said, what am I gonna do now? You know, am I gonna be on birth control? And, you know, just to be safe, she wants me to heal. And so I choose not to be on birth control. I choose to just, you know, I'm not gonna try right now, but maybe next year. And yeah, I'll just try and have faith. And I didn't know how common miscarriages were until I joined a support group from Facebook. It's called Miscarriage Support Group, and oh my God, it's sad though, because you see so many posts every like 15 minutes, every 15-20 minutes. You just see, I just had a miscarriage, I just had a miscarriage, and you're just like it's overwhelming sometimes. And I want to be there for those women, because we're all in it together, and we've all not have dealt with the same exact thing, but we've all been through it. So you know, I see a lot of women that have gone through a couple of miscarriages after getting pregnant again, after a successful pregnancy, and or vice versa. Just, I don't know, it's just, it happened for a reason. I know it. I know it happened for a reason, and I'm gonna take it day by day. I'm gonna keep going. I don't want to dwell. I've already cried and I've already mourned for my baby, and I'll keep him or her alive in my memory. I'm always gonna remember the date that he or she passed away, because I didn't get to do a sonogram or see him or her. I would have loved to. That would have been my second appointment, but it's not going to, so I'm not gonna go through that right now at the moment. Maybe later on in life, God will send me another baby and it'll be a successful one, but I will be here to share with you guys everything. I wanted to tell everybody on YouTube. I wanted to tell my YouTube family that I was pregnant, and it's a good thing I waited, because I wanted to do mommy vlogs. I wanted to do a whole different kind of, I just wanted to do different kind of videos. I wanted to add the fact that I was going to be a mommy, and then just, you know, talk about my symptoms each time and just share it with you guys. But that's not going to happen right now, but hopefully in the future, the near future, it will. I do cry off and on. It's still fairly new to me. It's only been a week, almost like over a week that it's happened, and so it's still fresh, it's still new. I just went through it. I'm still going through it, and I'm healing though, so I feel great. I feel good. My body feels really, really good. My gynecologist did recommend that I continue taking my prenatals, and just to continue doing that. So I'm continuing doing that. I'm gonna get back to my workouts. I'm gonna get back to, I must admit, I hadn't been eating good. I usually don't on the weekends, y'all already know that, but get back to just try to get my health back and stuff like that. A lot of women think like the what ifs and why, but only God knows why. So that's where we just need to keep, as far as comforting a woman that has been through a miscarriage, I know that there's no right thing to tell her, or sometimes you feel like there's nothing to say, but you're sorry. And I think one thing that I've been told was that it's gonna be okay, and I appreciate them telling me, you know, trying to comfort me and stuff, but sometimes you just can't tell. Like, it's okay to tell me that, but I know, like, for other women, it's hard for them to hear that, because in their mind, it's not going to be okay. They just lost their baby, and I don't think there's really any right thing to tell them, but, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I could be wrong. You know, there might be other things to say that will maybe comfort a woman that has just miscarried, but whenever I hear a woman on my group saying that she miscarried, I just tell them I'm so sorry, and that I've been through it. And I also tell them, hopefully we will get through this together. So that's all I tell them. I don't ever tell them, you're gonna be okay, or you're gonna have another baby, or yeah, I'm so sorry, we're not sure if you're gonna have another baby, but, you know, have faith and stuff like that. I don't know, I feel like that's not really good to tell them that, you know, pretty much that everything's gonna be okay. So this is pretty much my story, and I'm sorry for the TMI if you went through this whole video. Thank you for watching and listening. If you've ever been through a miscarriage, or if you're currently going through a miscarriage, you know, if you want to feel free to share your story in the comments below, please let me know. I do have an Instagram if you want to chat. Please add me on my Instagram so we can be friends and we can DM each other about our experiences. I will always reply to my YouTube family, or to anybody that's going through a miscarriage, because I've been through it. I am still currently going through it. Healing process right now. That's what I'm going through, is the healing process, and I am here for you guys if you want to chat, or if you just want to say hi. My Instagram will be down below. I will give you the name of it so we can add each other. I will definitely follow you back. And if you're going through this miscarriage, just know you're not alone, because that is actually a fact. I didn't know how common miscarriages were. And to be honest, like when you have a miscarriage, you feel alone sometimes because you feel like, did my body fail me? Or, you know, you just think all these things like it was your fault. And it's, you guys, I'm guessing it just happens. So feel free to add me on my Instagram. Comment down below if you wish to share your story. If you're open about it like I am, please feel free to do so, and let's be friends and let's talk about this. And I'm definitely going to share my journey in the future, you know, when I get pregnant again. I have confidence and I have faith, so I'm going to keep going. I do cry still, guys, don't get me wrong. I can be weak. I can be, sometimes I can't be strong. I can't be that person that's like, everything's going to be great. You know, like I have my times when I feel low. So I'm grateful for the family that have texted me along the way and have been there for me. I hope you're doing okay and how are you and stuff like that. Like just checking up on me. I'm super, super grateful for the few that have been doing that. And just grateful for people that are there for you. I'm just definitely grateful. Definitely grateful for my boyfriend who was there for me the whole time, for my mom, you know, for my family. Just my boyfriend was there just comforting me presently. He was here, just I was in bed, I was sad, and he just would tell me, it's okay baby, we're gonna be okay. And he is the most sweetest man ever. I love him so, so much. I just love him dearly. Like I don't know what I'd do without him. He's my everything. And after going through this, you just realize how good of a person you have in your life, especially like when you go through stuff like this, because sometimes people will leave you after all this. And I hear so many stories, and I'm so sorry for if a woman has ever gone through that, because that is not right. And you just know the people that you value. You know those people that are there for you. You know the real ones. So ladies, if you've been through this, please message me. I want to hear your story, and I want us to get through this, so we will. Okay, let's have faith. Let's not give up. This is not the end. So this is how I see it. I am blessed to still be alive. I am still blessed to be breathing. I don't want to say people have gone through worse things, because I know for a miscarriage, this might be the worst thing she's ever gone through, but everybody I know goes through something, and we're here for each other. That's why we have social media. You know, even strangers care. Social media is, I think it's important to a point, you know, like just by saying kind words, people that are there for you, people that are consistent with you on social media, like it's crazy like how much they care, and you don't even know these people and you've never even met them. So I think this is what's important, is just talking about it, and that we're still alive. Tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow is not even the next few hours is promised. And that's how I see it. Like life is too short, you know, and let's just try. I'm not going to say let's keep moving forward, because you can't tell somebody that, you know, somebody that just miscarried, you know, we're going to be fine. No, because we can't tell that to each other. But let's try to just keep living and just keep going, and try to continue doing the stuff you love, or improve yourself if you feel like something is not right or something needs to be improved. Let's do that. Let's improve each other's, maybe there's a skill that you want to improve, or if you want to go back to school, and keep going. Also, what I want to do is save a little bit more money. I know I'm a spender, and I know I'm going to continue shopping, just because shopping is therapeutic to me, although it sounds bad. I know it does, but it makes me feel better. It makes me feel good when I can buy my own things, and when I can purchase things without somebody else buying them for me. So it makes me feel good. And let's just continue just trying to get healthy and stuff. I know I'm not, guys, I am not a healthy person. I promise I'm not. But I want to try to just kind of put more greens in my food and stuff, because I know I'm lacking greens. So I don't really like greens much. I like green beans and peas, but that's about it. So let's just keep moving forward. No, let's just keep trying to move forward. That's all we can do. Try. And I'm here for you guys. So if you guys need to chat, text me. Not text me. message me on my Instagram. It's plovexx, PLOVEXX. Add me on my Instagram. I'll comment down below like how to spell it and stuff. So let me know. I hope you guys have faith, and I hope you guys can keep living and keep going. We're all beautiful and we all have a purpose in life, so we are here for a reason, and everything happens for a reason. So I'm gonna keep living as if, you know, what if the world ends tomorrow? Let's just keep going. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm gonna continue, or at least try to do more of my videos, and let's see how this goes, you guys. And I'll talk to you guys later. And wherever you're at in this world, be blessed. Stay blessed. Love you guys so much. Bye.